Enkenya prendio Oyan kusni ore Mekrada wo
Well, once again, good afternoon to you. This is coming live from the studio of Majesty Christian Television Network, all the way from the Netherlands. And we are discussing today on a very interesting topic, poverty among the Ghanaian youths in Amsterdam Southoost. And it's a dialogue that we are having. So the youths are here, the parents are here, and also the religious leader, so that we can hear from different perspectives how we can bring a solution to this poverty issue among the Ghanaian youths in the Netherlands, especially Amsterdam Southoost. Welcome once again, panelists, to this beautiful broadcast. The City Council have it that the Ghanaians are the most difficult people to deal with when it comes to integration and openness. Do you have anything to say regarding to this? Parents, this is a question to you. Why is it that the Ghanaians are not, they are very difficult to reach? They said that they operate in a very close syndrome. You can't penetrate them. When they even go for the language course, they are still speaking their Chui. No, it's like you can't penetrate. You can't penetrate. So what do you think is the reason to this what do you call it, this sort of closure among the Ghanaian parents?
Okay. When we first came here, if you try to speak the Dutch, the Dutch will tell you, hey, don't speak our language.
Oh.
They were not encouraging us to speak the language or to go to school. They all spoke English, and so they wanted you to speak English with them so that they better their English.
Are you sure?
Then working at the RAI.
You say your year so that people will know the year you came here. You came
by the 86, 85,
that will help them.
Working at the RAI. If you try to speak Dutch, my boss there will tell you, hey, speak English.
Really?
You are speaking their language. I was reading a book about the Netherlands. He said, their language is so difficult that foreigners don't want to learn their language. Instead, the Dutch people like to learn other languages so that they can communicate with foreigners. And it's true. It's a book I was reading that was stated in the book.
Okay.
And so, since the Dutch people are able to speak English, and Ghanaians are English-speaking people, when they come here, they don't see the need to learn. Whereas those people from Morocco speak, they don't speak English, or from Turkey, they don't, and so they are forced to speak the language. See?
Yeah.
If you go to Germany, all the Ghanaians there speak German.
Oh.
Because they don't, nobody speak English with you.
Yeah, okay.
Or even to Paris, to France.
Okay.
Nobody speak.
Yeah.
I was sitting in Paris. I took the bus. I asked the bus about something in English. I know the man understand what I'm saying, but he never answer you because you spoke English. You see. And so, the encouragement was not there. And when you stay in the country for a long time, then they ask you to go to change and learn it becomes difficult for you. See, this may be one of the reasons.
Wow, really?
And then most of us came here. Oh, they put a ceiling on their staying here. Oh, after 10 years, I'm going, about 5 years, I'm going back.
Okay.
And we never went back.
That's true. That's true.
So that's the reason why they are not, they are so close.
Okay, and so if I can't communicate with you, I have to be close.
It's true. Exactly. Wow.
What I want to add to is that if, for instance, if somebody is listening and want to challenge this assumption, then we have to ask them, why is that Ghanaians in Germany speaking German? Why is that Ghanaians in France are speaking France? It's because when you are in Germany, you have to speak German because nobody's going to speak English with you.
Yes.
And when you are in France, you have to learn how to speak French because nobody's going to. But here, when you are here, even when you begin to speak the person will begin to speak English with you. And that in that way, that will not encourage you to learn the language.
Oh, are you now saying that they are the people making the just because they are helping you to speak English?
No, we can't say
Because
helping.
probably-
Then why is that those in
I'm
Germany
not
speaking
blaming
German?
them.
No, probably
But the
maybe
encouragement
somebody.
to do it from the beginning was not there.
Then why is that those in Germany are speaking German?
Yeah,
Because then nobody will speak English with you.
I will agree with them because I stayed in Italy for a while. And
Yeah.
Italy is the same. But they were helping the foreigners to learn. Because for them, when you go there, they know that they want you to learn their language.
Yeah.
Some people that let me say my part that I was living, most of them weren't speaking English.
Yeah.
So when you go there, you must. But there were some schools that it was like retired teachers. They came together and they were doing classes teaching the foreigners free. It's like the community or the
But they have
or
those
something
things
like that.
here
They
as
were
well.
learning. But is it free?
It's not free.
It has
But
been
there-
free for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Years
yeah.
upon years, it has been free.
Oh, okay,
It's
but
free.
there is free and you
It's
go,
free.
they will teach you, and even if, let me say, you don't have any document, you can go.
Okay.
It was like that, so everybody,
Yeah, but here you must
all
have
of them,
documents.
Yeah, must.
Yeah, you
yeah,
must be
all of
documented.
them were going, so somebody will come within a month, and because of that, when you ask the person little thing, the person
They're
can
able to express
yeah.
themselves. Okay.
So that one is also
Okay. So we can deduce here that the language is a barrier to their openness.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
It's
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah,
Do
but-
you have anything to say?
Yeah, language is a barrier to the communication.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, they made it so flexible for us to have our own way. Now,
Yeah.
there is a problem.
Yeah.
It is a problem. And the second generation are facing the troubles.
So what?
And when we first came here, they never made the language
A priority.
a priority.
Yeah. Okay.
But when the job
Becoming
became
difficult.
scarce,
Yes.
then they use the language as a means to.
Yeah, a barrier. Yeah.
You can't speak, so
Yeah, because I quite remember when there's so much work, when they said even in the board they have written it that if you can speak English, if you can express yourself in English, no problem, there's a work for you to do. But now that work is now difficult, it has now come compulsory that you have to speak their language before you can be able to get a work.
We do the school marking
Yeah.
after office hours. It's speaking the language.
Yeah,
Mm.
even
Yeah,
the primary one that
tables,
you speak,
nobody's
they will
there.
still say it's not good. You have to
Wow.
speak better.
But what then can be done to help the Ghana community to be open? Because sometimes, in this building, they also have the language school somewhere. And so I always see, when I go to use the ladies, then I see that instead of them to be practicing the little Dutch they've been taught, they are only speaking the tree. They will scream and scream and scream and talk and talk and talk. And then, so in the class, they don't even interact. Because one time I went in there because I wanted to talk something about women wellness. I wanted just to let them know that this sort of course I can also give it. So their teacher invited me to come and talk. Then I was so surprised. Even it's like they are also acting as if they don't even hear English very well. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like I must speak Twi, but then I was not able to speak Twi. So when people are that way, it's very difficult to penetrate them.
Well, that assumption I will challenge. I don't think we are very difficult to penetrate because one, we know Holland English is the second language, and therefore, if any community that can speak English, I find it very difficult to believe that Holland person is very difficult to penetrate, because Holland officially English is their second language, and therefore, any community that can speak English, how do you say that community is very difficult to penetrate? I don't think so. And also, what I believe that now the second generation is taking over. Our
Yes.
children and our children were born,
They're
and
speaking,
therefore
yes.
they can speak a language. And we, the first generation, we are passing over. We are giving the baton to the second generation. So I don't believe now it is still true that our community is very difficult to
Well, when I
penetrate.
say it's the language is a barrier, I meant by the first generation. Not everyone had an education, or not everyone can speak English. Sorry to say.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. It's true. The first
Even
generation,
right,
yeah,
Richard,
it's
right?
true.
Not everyone can speak, so the Dutch will be a problem, and the English language will be a problem.
So-
and if I can't understand,
How can you help your child?
yeah, or even communicate with another ethnic.
Okay, it's true. Wow. Wow. So it becomes necessary that the first generation have to improve.
But I think the change of language, these people you went to, they are mothers, 50 years or 40 years. They came here, they struggled so long before they got their documents,
Yeah.
just to stay, not only just to have a living. So for about 5 years, their life were just in that kind of suspense.
Yeah.
And after 5 years, you tell them go back to school. Why didn't you give me the document in those 5 years when I was struggling? I've struggled to get a document, and you're asking me to go to school. And the question is, what would the school do to me? Yes, you say to help me to integrate for what? Then I ask the question. Well, because
The man is old.
you are going to they are organizing these Dutch courses for them to integrate, to learn, to be able to learn the language. But I think these are people who have other things in their mind. They have those
Exactly.
things to think of. They are just forcing them because they are taking the social, because they are taking your money. You are forcing them to go to the school. Why don't you just invest in other social activities where they go there to talk, to have some fun, and then to be more open, to release their psychological problems. Rather than put them in that classroom for 2 hours just because he's taking the money. If not, the money will be cancelled. So, and invest the money elsewhere, because there are so many things that you can invest in this among the group.
Yeah, exactly. But they wouldn't want them to just be getting the money without being involved, because if it starts from one step, if you're able to integrate, if you're able to understand the language, probably your situation will change. That means you wouldn't remain a cleaner for the rest of your years.
But
You see?
the fact
So
of-
because I believe that even though you think they are comfortable in that zone, they are not really very, very comfortable.
But
because-
they were in the early 80s, 90s. The money was there. There was a big pot with money, and they were giving to the immigrants, if I should say.
Yeah.
But now the money it's
Yeah,
reducing.
reducing.
There's no more money coming in, so
find ways
they
and
have
means
to
to
find ways and means to
Yeah.
cut out the money.
Yeah.
So now
No, they have to
Yeah, now-
pressure on you.
And also, language is not easy to be learning language throughout your life. It's
Exactly.
not at a point in time you cannot just learn another language, because you have to question what the importance of that language to you. Even though yes, I'm in the country, but I am 45 years, I'm 50 years. In my early years, I went to school. I finished secondary school. After a long time, I've never been to school. And then you bring me back to the classroom. I have my children to take off. I have this and that to take off.
It's
And you
difficult,
just
really.
trying to. So they are not achieving their aim, but still they don't want to put an end to it and concentrate on other things, because I think they have a lot to learn from other countries.
Yeah.
From the US, from France and others. They have
Exactly.
other countries to learn from and
Yes.
invest in the second generation. That is much important, because the money has to be invested in them and see how best they can help them. For instance, as to be one of my recommendations,
Yeah.
parents did not have, even if you don't have education, you don't have to read to your child. You just have to sit by your child 30 minutes a day. You can sit by your child and let your child take the book and be reading. Not just maybe you leave the child behind the computer and say learn. But you sit by your child, you don't know anything about what is the child, but you know that is a book, which definitely once you're sitting there, at a point in time, the child is going to pick the habit of reading. So maybe that is one thing which has to, maybe they do that with their intention that parents will be able to learn the language, and with that they can help their children also in their reading. But it's not going to work, but they have to get to the alternatives.
Okay, before we come to that recommendation, let me just ask one more question, and then that will be the last one. Okay, to the parents, in what way do you think you can be helped to raise your children better? In what way? Yes. What would you like to see, or what would you like to be changed in the way the Ghanaian children are being raised, so that they don't have this tag?
Well, first of all, I would say that I believe the government can help us in the way of, for instance, the way we pay our amenities. I believe that the housing cost is very, very, very deep, very, very high. For instance, if I'm going to pay about 70% of my income to the rent alone,
yes,
then and that is a lot. So I believe that the way the government can help is to make sure that he subsidizes especially the rent, because it takes a lot of our money. So I believe that's one of the ways that the government can help with the parent, because if the parent is doing very good, it will be translated onto the children.
Yes,
Yes. Is that going to be done to only Ghanaians or to everybody?
No, but we are not talking about the Ghanaians. We are talking about so we can't talk about everybody. We are talking about.
I think the government is doing his best to help us. Only we are not accepting it. A lot of schools have been opened for us to go for free to learn them. How many of us attend those schools?
Okay.
You see, they may organize, let's say, Sikamai or Rekojin, or now Akasanma may organize something. How many people attend?
Yes.
That's true. There is something that should be changed. First, no, we can't blame the government for it. The government is doing its best to help us, but we are not helping ourselves.
There was,
we have a wrong notion. Yes, okay.
One of the
misconception
leaders of this organization was telling me they had organized just last week Saturday, they organized a program and they invited people from the Ghanaian community. Nobody didn't attend. So we are not. That's part of the closeness we're talking about. We are not really involved in the issues that matter. Only funerals and things. Show the best clothes at funerals.
That is true. It's like maybe we are so in our comfort zone. We want just to be where we are. But I think behind our mind, some of the parents, as you said, sometimes they think, I don't know whether it has happened before, they have used some people before, because they said now they do these programs. Thank you. These programs just to use them to get money, subsidy and other things. So now when you are doing, they don't want to go. They don't want to go.
Subsidies
so I think they have to educate them. Things have to be transparent to them to know. So if not so, if you do, they will not come. They said you are using them to make a project, to the start and get money.
The fact is that the city council has a reserve made budget for certain activities. Those activities are supposed to be done by they call it self-organizations in the community. They're not money meant for individuals, but they are meant for, let's say, awareness creation, activities to bring people together. Like sometimes in the radio we do, these are specifically meant for those, so you cannot get money that is not meant for.
And you have to write it in that way that they cannot, because these people are too smart that you cannot go and write some projects without or to inflate your prices. Because you still have to provide the receipts of whatever.
No, let me finish now. You see, the people have to understand that they have earmarked funds for certain things. You can only get the funds only when you meet the criteria for the funds. So, like what we do on radio sometimes, the city council may say, do this program for us. We want you to tackle this topic to create awareness.
Yes.
And they'll pay for the airtime for that.
The airtime.
They say, okay, create awareness about sexual health on this area or this area. And then we organize an event, invite people to come. You see, so the whatever budget funds is for organizing those events. And yet our people don't want to come because they think
The money goes to you. Yeah, so you have to educate them.
Yeah,
Because
where is the money go?
the money comes to
Yeah,
you.
where is the money?
Buy someone
is stupid
to
thinking.
be a guest on radio. They say, okay, how much are you going to pay?
Can you imagine
They
that?
think the money comes to you when you call them. So you have to educate them.
It's
a
a
wrong,
It's a wrong
Every year,
Exactly.
every year, the government allocates some funds for such things.
Precisely.
If by the close of the fiscal year,
Yeah.
the money has not been utilized, it goes back to chest. What do we gain from that?
Because the
And
people
so
don't
if
want to
I
go
can
and
get a
write those
project
projects again because
to
of the
take
notion
some
that
subsidy
you've taken money.
to help my own community and say, no, if I attend your meetings, you're going to earn something from me.
Yeah.
And I won't come.
Can you imagine that?
It's
It's so funny.
The type of mentality.
I believe that apart from being it's a cultural perception, and we have to break these cultural barriers. For me, like I said, my problem is that we are translating this value to our children
exactly.
who were born here, which shouldn't be the case at all.
yeah.
Because that the same happening when a Ghanaian is in your church, for him to pay money, or he because you know when he pay the money, you the pastor or your wife is enjoying.
Yeah. Also.
Only Ghanaians will think that. Man, we the president of Nigeria, so you just give it title, then after you know he's blessed. You think about the blessing, but Ghanaian, no.
Yeah.
You look at you.
You were saying something,
there's some-
Pastor. You were saying something that like the Nigerians in your church,
yeah.
how they support
The ministry,
giving.
because you know he's been blessed. For him, he's thinking about the blessing,
Exactly.
which is true. He will be blessed. But the Ghanaian will not think about how you are going to use the money, how you are going to live in your car, how your wife is going to be big. No, they won't give that money.
No.
You want to use it for him.
No.
Ghanaians in our church, where we give us a lot of trouble.
Yeah, everywhere
They
Ghanaians.
criticize the furniture in
Everything.
the home, they criticize the car, drove.
Everything.
Nigerians didn't do that.
No, Nigeria wouldn't do that because you'll be blessed and so you'll be blessed. But that's what he's thinking. And so this is a question, something
So,
that
Richard,
we have
you
to
said
break
that
it.
money has been allocated for the minority, and they are fortunate to be part of the minority. And now they are not coming out when you call them for anything like this because they think money is involved. So, and they use that same mentality to pass over to their children. You call them for a program, they say money is involved. And sometimes, for me, it's so funny that people can be thinking this way. So, don't you see that it's hindering their growth?
It is.
For hindering your growth, it is. But you think have to. Then since some have some, I would say some facts for why they say that, because all of a sudden you see that this guy has started living that gorgeous life because of something that came out. Because they told me, I wasn't here in the 1990s, but they told me when these AIDS funds came out in the 1990s, how some people got the money and started living in different ways. And they were just joining the program, they were being called. Immediately they were called, they were there. Any program that they were called, they were there. They were very active, moving around. Then all of a sudden, so these are some of the things. It's not that some people act because of just cultural or because of their some experiences, and some have also some did not just come straight to Holland. They have moved from maybe from Germany, from other places, and they have lived different experiences. And each one has its own migration history. So that is also one thing. And about the youth and about associations, the question is membership. You cannot organize or form an association and then you stay on your own. Always the 3 or 4 of you are the members of the organization and you are running everything. You need to recruit members. You need to have membership in your group. Otherwise, what kind of organization is that? There is no voluntary organization without members.
Yeah.
In the international NGOs,
yeah,
they have members paying SOS. They have membership everywhere. Some Ghanaians are members. Yeah. They pay money through their PayPal, through their accounts, because they have members and they have come to understand what they are doing.
Yeah,
so it's a matter of convincing people of what you are doing. Some people, you don't even know what their aims and objectives are. Or you know that they come out with this program. We know that these associations are there. But what they really stand for,
you don't know.
They don't convince people to join. You have to go out and reach the church, because you see there are about length from the 350 churches in Ghana, Ghanaian churches in Holland. in Amsterdam, and now they are 400 this year.
Yeah,
All of them have members in their churches. How did they get the members, and why is it that ethnic organizations are not getting members? They go out, evangelize. So if you have an organization, just you take the same tactics, so that when you have a program, you don't have to be now looking for people. So it is like, you need me, you call me. You don't need me, don't call me. So you have to recruit members where you have meetings, transparent, you have accounts every end of the year. You are not eating the money. If you render accounts, people know we have executives. We have a kind of change of executives every 4 years or every whatever year, so that some people feel what kind being represented and participation. If there is no participation, there is a kind of inactive participation. I don't think we can move on that way.
Thank you so much. We are about to round up now, and then the last question has to go to the youths. Any radical idea on how this poverty picture can be changed for something better? Is there any radical idea?
Activity will be fine. I think if there should be unity, and I always say religion and politicians run the people. So maybe if the churches will unite and come together and educate us, we the youth, I think that will help, and from our parents too.
So that will help to break this poverty syndrome.
Yes. I think also the structural issue is very important because from the interviews that I had, apart from the professionals, that is those who are lawyers and doctors, those who did management, who did political science, they are not being employed in their field of studies, and they are employed in different areas, but if you look into it, their contract is MBO level but not the HBO level or the university level that they have. So this structural issue is a problem, and I think the Amsterdam Southeast, there are a lot of factories, there are a lot of offices coming up here. They have to get in the social responsibility. They have to get in touch with them and then try to invest, because it's unfortunate. I told one of my friends who's an anthropologist, I tell you, have a study of just 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, when the offices are on break. Just look at the people who come out. They are all white. How can we live in a black neighborhood and having only white people coming out of the offices? And at 5 o'clock, you see black people entering. So Amsterdam starts this out age has to do something about it for us.
This was awesome, because I was speaking recently with somebody. and I was asking. I said that, look, these buildings are coming up, and we are trying to renovate this one for a hotel and this and that. I said, but after doing all of this, create job for those in Southeast. Don't go outside Southeast to go and get those who will come and work in these places, because those who live here are supposed to benefit from the job opportunities that are coming up. But that's not what we are saying. Well, we're gonna round up very soon. I give you one minute just to say something on the radical way to remove this poverty tag. Yes, Anita, before you sign up.
The mindset of my own people has to change.
Mindset have to be changed. That's what you are saying to your generation and to those who are listening to us. Yes, mindset. What about you, Kwesi?
Yeah, I think the churches has a lot of work to do. They have to educate, because when you look at the statistics, it's from 0 to 17, and these people are not joining the tribal organization or something like that. So they will get them from the churches. So the churches to have a lot of work to do. We have to start from there.
Pastor, you've heard it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kwesi. Do you have anything to say, Richard?
I just have to continue to encourage the second generation migrants that they are doing well for going through the step-by-step system of Dutch education. They should keep up and never give up. And I know that when in their 30s and they are going to be in the middle class, Dutch middle class.
Amen. Thank you so much. And to you, Mr. Adami,
we have to change with time.
We have to change
with time. As our lady said, my daughter said, our mindset.
Yeah.
See, the way of thinking previously should not be the same way today.
Thank you, sir. And Mama Rema?
Some of the youth are aiming high, but those that are weak, we need to help them, to encourage them.
Thank you, ma'am. And Pastor?
Well, I believe that the government should, when they are planning their project, they should put the church into perspectives. You have more time for the church, because I found now that they have very little time for the churches.
Yes.
Because we church will do a lot of contribution in our social, in our political setting. So they should have the church, in their mind when they are planning their projects.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today, and we will take all of these ideas back to them, and we hope that something can be changed. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, viewers, this broadcast have been made possible through Majesty Christian Television Network, and we hope that you continue to watch this channel. And in case you want to listen to this broadcast, please, in the next few minutes, just go to the YouTube and then download it and then circulate it among those in your network. I believe that all the healthy ideas that have come out today will help to improve the youths that are here, especially the Ghanaian youths, and also youths from the other ethnic groups. Thank you for watching us, and God richly bless you. Bye.